the Indian growth story, and it makes other countries uncomfortable. We all grew up with the not grew up, I'd say that in the past 15 years or 20 years since liberalization, post-liberalization and things like that, the what we were given to understand is that the Western world appreciates India's growth story, sees us as a partner. But is it making them uncomfortable that our growth trajectory is at a faster pace than they would like it to be?
Of course, as I said, even your friend, it's not necessary that they are wishing us ill in the sense that they may be okay with us removing poverty, etc., as long as we stay in our lane. Once we are big enough to be, and we are now big enough to be a major player, then you have to be willing to accept that it comes with the game changing, that you now, your car is big enough to be not quite fit into the lane that has been designated to you.
So the West and America are forthcoming with their opinions. You kind of can gauge when they like your rise, when they don't. How does East Asia look at us? How does West Asia look at us? Apparently the West Asian countries now want to be part of the India growth story.
So I don't think you should think of it as black and white.
Okay.
On certain issues, they may like it. If they want to sell you energy, they want a growing economy. They want to sell you arms, they may like a growing economy because you have more money to buy their arms or energy or so on. So it is not like, as I said, you are dealing with a world of frenemies. On some issues, they'll be friends. On other issues, they may not be. We should stop having this idea that, he is my chaddi yar, believe, and he will agree with me on every point. No, this is we need to be behave like adults.
For example, this voyage that you're taking and showing India as a maritime power, I'm sure countries in Southeast Asia are uncomfortable. For example, Singapore. They will look at it, right? Because they are a major...
Not necessarily. In fact, I have been talking with them. They are quite excited about the fact that we maybe want to do in 2026 a voyage to Southeast Asia, to the island of Bali. So if this voyage to Oman goes well, then the idea is to take the ship to the other coast and sail it from Odisha to literally recreate the very famous ancient voyage called Bali Jatra.
Okay.
So there is excitement. The question is, how do we engage with the rest of the world in a positive way and bring them onto our thing? So it's about engagement. So there's two ways of doing this. Either we, just because I'm standing up for India's interests does not mean that we have to then become jingoistic and push everybody else around. No. We have to look useful to other people's interests.
Okay. Let's go to the field or to the area of the mood of the Indian economy. How do you see it today? Are we really in the path of a long-term growth cycle, or is this an over-optimistic view of things?
So, long-term growth cycle in the sense that the opportunity is there. I mean, we are clearly growing very, very fast. The latest number, of course, came in at 8.2. For the quarterly number, my own thing is there are statistical reasons why it's running at above 8. But I think we are doing, on a sustainable basis, we are doing something like 7, which is not too bad given the overall global, disrupted global environment that we are dealing with. It's not a bad pace at all. So, are we in a long cycle? Well, some opportunities are there. For the demographics, for example, are in our favor for next 25 odd years. But this is not something that, naturally happens. It's not like you do one round of reforms in the beginning and then 25 years. It's a continuous process. You have to keep adjusting along the way. New situations arise. So this is a game that has to be actively played. So do we have an opportunity to dramatically up ourselves over the next 25 years? Yes. Will it necessarily happen? Well, it depends on how we play. And so at this juncture, I think we are doing a decent job. To have these 8% type growth rates, even if it is for a quarter or two, with almost no inflation, is not trivial. And there are all other macro indicators also doing well, whether it's a banking system is fine.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा।
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है।
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दो?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब।
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप।
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI, it does not lie.